What's the deal, my people? You know who it is, Don Tony Teflon, and I'm back at you, another one. And why is this thing still showing up on the screen? We don't need that right now, right? That shouldn't be there, but yet it is. Yet it is. So did I change the back? Oh, maybe I hit the wrong background. There we go. What up to my people? You know what it is, Don Tony Teflon. I'm back at you with another one. Changeling episode 6. This is right. We're gonna go through. We're gonna break it down. Go through all deep dive. Again, this is a call-in live stream. So that means you can call in if you have something to say to the Don Tony Teflon. I'd love to hear from you. You know what I mean? But before this, you know what I mean? Let's go through all the people out here. I'm sorry that we'll talk about a little bit of everything in a little bit. Let's say what up to the people first. Baby girl is in the building rocking with us. Muhammad, my brother from another mother, is up in here. Why So Curious is up in here. Luna Cascade is in the building, rocking with us. Muhammad, I just said you, but I say it again. Is in this motherfucker. Tamika's Den is in here. My man K, Korea, right? Korea? We're gonna go with it. Korea, what up? How are you? Daisy is in here. Hannah is in here. John Haymaker is in here. As I said, Hannah is in here. 08 Callie is in the building. Rock with us. Mrs. T is in here. Lady Stonehearted Kimmy G is in the building. Nisha is in the building rocking with us. All right, we're going to get into this. Jackie C, as always, holding down the chat for us and everything else is in here. Ryan DPG is up in here rocking with us, man. Thank you for everyone coming out here. Miss Peaches is in here. Denard Blackwood is in here rocking with us. And we're so happy you made it, Miss Peaches, too. What up to everyone out here? Again, thank you for joining me out here. We're going to talk about this episode. We're going to go through some stuff. But real first, let's do a little bit of spring clean. Let's do a little home cleaner before we get into this stuff and talk about a couple of things real quick. So, as y'all all know, I done told y'all from the jump, I was supposed to do a from stream this week, too. I promised someone I'd do a from stream, so we'll get that done. Maybe tomorrow we'll come on the from stream and we'll talk about that. All right. So, but we'll talk. I was going to do a con. It's going to be called FromCon. I was going to do a FromCon for our From fans out there and everything else. And then we got a little pushback from MGM and Amazon for about the name and everything else. And again, we pivoted from that. We respect those guys and everything else. And we got nothing but love from them. They've been nice to me. And everything. So we got nothing but love for them and I understand everything that they say. So we respect them and we pivot away from the name and now we're doing a different type of con. But in this con that we're doing, it's not going to be like your average con. I promise you it won't be that. I enlisted some help. I got a partner in this, running this, helping me run this out there with me. And we're going to another YouTuber and we're going to get this thing done. So it's going to be, again, it'll be in Nashville. It'll be next year. I'll have more information. I don't want to make anything public about it yet until the website is up and everything else. I don't want it to be like FromCon and people waiting for it. Should be by the end of November. I will have all the details for you. But it's going to be unlike anything you've ever done or seen before. It's not going to be like one of these boring ass cons that you go to where it's just nothing but panels and this and that. It's gonna be great. Trust me. It's gonna be great. And when you see it, hear the details on it, it's going to be amazing. You're gonna like. All right. That being said, on Sunday morning time before football starts, I will be doing a live stream with Gray Area. We'll be talking about House of the Dragon season 2, what to expect in season 2. And we're going to try to figure out exactly what should happen in each episode and where it should end off, right? So we're going to be doing that there. So look forward to that on Sunday. We'll be dropping that. As you've seen, Gray just dropped a video recently and stuff. Probably first video in a year. But she gonna be up in there and everything. And what? I'm not gonna make you cry. But I promise you, I would think I'd make you cry. I can't be. You will all see us in person. I promise you. Next year it will. I promise you, it's going to happen. It's already done. I already have people that I can't give everything else. I can't give everything away right now. You know what I mean? But I will say that gray area is involved in this too. So you can guarantee that gray area will be there, guaranteed. So you'll be able to meet her too. She'll be up in the piece, guaranteed. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great time. You know what I mean? And I look forward to it. And I want to go into it, but I promised that I wouldn't. So we're not gonna go into it right now. We'll go into it later. All right, that is the channel stuff real quick. Now I know y'all probably see me put up a couple of posts on my on YouTube about a particular channel who likes to bite shit and everything else. And I'm gonna let me say this, and now let me say this. I don't want to make this clear. I in no way am I trying to take anyone's subscribers or fan base away from them at all. And I don't want people, if people do watch this particular YouTuber, continue to watch them at all. If they do good work, then continue to watch their good work. In the end, it comes down to respect. You know what I mean? You have to respect people. And if you're going to take someone and watch somebody's stuff and you agree with it, then the respectful thing to do is to say, hey, like, shout out the person you watch it for. Don't be acting like you made this shit up yourself. You know what I mean? So anyone who does that to me, again, I've been through that in the whole Game of Thrones community my whole career. People stealing my ideas and not giving me credit for what it is, and just not having that no more. So anyone of that catch, and it was alerted to me by a subscriber who alerted me to the whole situation. I don't even watch this cat. But in the end, I ain't trying to take no money out of nobody's mouth. And as for the thumbnail, definitely, took my style of thumbnail and did it. And YouTube is a copycat business. Everyone's going to look at someone's thumbnail and change the color and do it. And I understand that's part of the game, right? But you can't take my thumbnail and my theory and put it on there and act like you made it up. That's a no-no, baby. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. So, in the end, it just comes down to respect. If I have anything that someone else says or Think Story says something that I agree with, I definitely will bring up Think Story in it and let them know. It's not about, you don't have to be able to make stuff up to present stuff well. You know what I mean? If you're a very good orator and you can present stuff, doesn't mean you have to make it up and everything else. So just have respect, be respectful to the people in this community who actually do come up with stuff. And it takes us a while to do that, and disrespect and shout it out. If you agree with something, shout the person out, man. That's just the way it goes. You know what I mean? And that's the way it should be. And if that's a problem, and anybody else want to talk to me about it personally or meet up and talk about it, I'm about that life. So that's that. All right, we cool on that situation. Now we done with that. Let's talk about this episode. Now I know that a lot of people, you know what I mean? What up to my girl Mara? Up in the building, rocking with us right now. You know what I mean? And my man C Note, you know what I mean, up in there rocking with us, you know what I mean, and all that good stuff. Love everywhere. Sonic Boy is in the building, and Branch is in the building, and everything else. So, anyhow, a lot of people, I've heard some people say they didn't like this episode, and I don't know how, but I guess we would have to ask them personally. I love this episode. I thought it was one of the best episodes. We got a lot out of it. I mean, could it be that people are trying to, and I think this is what happens when you watch shows like this, that people just want the answers when they want the answers. And if they don't come at the time that they want them, they try to downgrade the show or don't like the show or something like that. And I think you have to give the show a chance to breathe. Again, I don't think if this was a one and done season, then I could understand it. You know what I mean? But the fact that I don't believe it's a one and done season, you know what I mean? I think that then I think the pacing is pretty good. You know what I mean? And I think it captivates you to want to watch that next episode. They're doing a good job at that. I mean, not every show is perfect. I understand that there are certain things that are wrong with it and everything else. But you got to just let everything happen in due course and everything. And then at the end of the season, if you want to complain like, they should have gave us more, then we can have something to talk about and everything else. And thank you for a super chat from the beautiful, the wonderful Mod Mary, who says, if you believe in things that you don't understand, then you suffer. And that is from the great Stevie Wonder. And that was in the show. Life is about suffering. Everything you do in life is about suffering and how much you're willing to suffer for it, right? No matter what it is. That's all life is suffering, and what you're willing to suffer for it, and that is how you're successful in life, and how far you're willing to go for certain things and stuff and all that. Teacups 08 says, love the episode. I'm totally going down the rabbit hole. Without a doubt, you know what I mean? Without a shadow of a doubt, you know what I mean? To me, it's just they did a really good job with the show so far. I like the writing. And I know people don't, you know what I'm saying? I know certain people don't. Maybe we can have some of these YouTubers on who don't, and we could see get that point of view. What up to Emily and everything else. All right, again, the phone line is open. If you want to call in, ask a question, don't be shy. 518-290-0848. If Real Enigma and Theories does come on, though, I'm going to shut the phone line down and have him come on and talk a little bit, and then we'll shut the phone line back on. So make sure you call up right now if you want to get that call in and everything else and all that good stuff. Leah is saying she's reading the book and everything else. Oh my God, this thing all of a sudden OneDrive just keeps popping up. We are not on to the book spoilers. Thank you for not putting them in there and everything else. Thank you for not putting them. We're just trying to figure this thing up for ourselves right now and everything. But but thank you for the. I've been tempted to read the book, but it doesn't work out for me like that. It's better for me to make these things up and everything else. Again, I did that with Game of Thrones and everything. I read the Song of Ice and Fire series before it, and it kind of messed things up because it didn't live up to the show. Didn't live up to what I was reading in the book. So after that, I said I'd never do it again. Muhammad says, do you think Danny will be back to life? Be the red guy? You talking about Game of Thrones stuff, Muhammad? That's what you're talking about right now. Are we talking about Game of Thrones stuff? I do the Danny about the red guy. No, I don't. No, I do not. Do not, Muhammad. And Bear, why is YouTube just now alerting me to your live? I don't know. If you have the everything clicked and say you want all notifications, you should get alerted that it would before I even go live. It should tell you and everything else. We're talking, taking questions. Were you upset about the fight last week? I'm not upset about the fight. I'm upset about the fighter not actually fighting and just allowing himself to stand out there and being a punching bag for somebody. I thought he had more respect for himself, and I had more respect to him, but now I don't. Just go out there and just take the payday and just try not to get knocked out. That's not a fighter to me. So I have no respect for him as a fighter anymore. And that's just what it is. Luna says, what a treat. Real Enigma and Theories and Tony theorized. Yeah, if he comes on, definitely get him if he comes in here. We'll send him the link and everything. We'll get him on here and everything else and all that good stuff. Again, if you want to call in, don't be afraid to call in. It's better when you call in. I can kick it with you. You know the number. It's right on the bottom of the screen, on the crawl, going across on the bottom. My finger. It's down there, right there. 518-290-0848. Someone please put it in the chat. Let's talk about a couple of things. Number one, about Emma. Did Emma float? Now, I want to ask y'all. Now, there's a lot of things going on, and people saying that she was actually floating in the air. People say she was floating in the air in the picture, and then when she was coming down the fire escape or something, she was floating down the block. Now, I'm going to ask y'all, did y'all see her floating? Did you actually see a feet? Now, remember, I'm saying floating. I mean, her feet is not touching the soil. And she's actually floating down this aisle. I myself did not see this floating. I did not see. It seemed like she ran, but maybe I missed it and everything else. But people are saying that she floated and everything else. I don't know if that's the case. And Brand saying we now know what Emma was doing for those months. Yeah, it did, and I do appreciate them doing that. And I also appreciate the fact that she actually seen him performing the crime, and they did that, and that he got, he felt her presence there, someone's presence there, and everything else. Miss T says yes, she did catch a floating and everything else going on there, 214 Bean says she was either floating or moonwalking backwards. I gotta see it now. I'm gonna have to go up. Maggie P says she's absolutely floating. Kian said he saw her floating, but it wasn't. It is significant that she's got the ability to hover. I mean, that is leading to the point that she has some witch ability inside of her, right? That she has some magical blood. Again, I think that's what makes this baby so important, that of Apollo and hers, because I think the baby has both changeling blood and witch's blood, right? So now I'm saying changeling's blood. I shouldn't say changeling's blood. I'm saying that it should be elf's blood. If we're dealing with elves, again, we have to see: are we dealing with elves, or are we dealing with what is the other ones? Ogres, not ogres. What are they? The other ones. Wow, I can't think of it. Dwarves. Is it dwarves or ogres? What is it? I can't think of it right now. Mara saying the legs didn't move, no steps. I got trolls. I guess. Thank you very much, trolls. Ogres. It's too much. Yeah, but trolls and stuff. You gotta see what we're dealing with, right? Because that baby could be if Emma's. How could it be all three? Is there a way that baby could be all three? If Apollo's father is a troll and his mother is a witch, then Apollo has both of that bloodline, and then Emma is a witch, then she would have more of that. You would have to somehow be some type of elven bloodline in there too, to have all three of them in there. It had to be something like that. Daisy says at some point the magical stuff like floating and glowing could just be an artistic choice to emphasize symbolism. So could be. There's no doubt about it. That's it. Daisy says, how did you come up with a troll? Because I figured that the dude William Wheeler was an internet troll, and that he would be a troll in real life as part, so that would be the spin that they put on him, that not only is he an internet troll, but he's actually a troll. So that's where I got the troll. And trolls also leave changeling babies too. It's not just elves who do it, but in some myth, in some of the lore, it's trolls themselves that do it. So I do believe that man is a troll. He's not an elf. Or a fae or anything like that. Murphy K says, in New York, why hasn't the creature that helped the trolls and the fairies killed the witches when they crossed from the island to the sea? Now, we don't know what came across in that boat. We're assuming that it was the witches that came across in that boat from Norway. But it may not have been. It could have been the trolls that came across. They could have all been perfect. All we know is that they fled because of prosecution, right? But we don't know exactly what it was, right? We have no idea. So they could have been elves, it could have been witches, or it could have been trolls. We have no idea. We just know that they were being prosecuted, right? That people were trying to kill them. He said they left for religious freedom. So that's what we have to see. Exactly what it was when it came across Murph. Brooklyn saying that trolls can't be baptized. Trolls can't take baptized children. William might be here. Yeah, they can't take and they cannot take baptized children. 100%. If the child is baptized, they can't take it. So that could be a good point that why they are too. What up, Megan Smith? How are you? Thank you for rocking with us. We appreciate you being out here and everything else. Right here, I don't even worry about it. Says, I swear if that water was in the siren creature, I'm gonna lose my. Now, we did see a creature, right? When the episode starts, there's some type of creature there, correct? I mean, maybe I'm mistaken the episode, but there's something there. Like we see it's in silhouette, but we can't really see it. But there is some type of creature there. Now, I'm going to say this now. There's a little Norway in New York. Now, they're claiming that little Norway is in Kew Gardens by Forest Hills. Now I'm from that area over there, and I've never heard it referred to as Little Norway in my life. Not one time. In fact, I didn't even notice a bunch of Norwegians in that area. To tell you the truth, there's a bunch of Jewish people in that area more than everything. And like, again, they call it Kew Gardens, but like the people will call it Jew Gardens because there's so many Jewish people that live out there more than anything else. So it's weird to me when I hear them say that, like, oh, this is Little Norway. I've never heard it say anything about that at all. Jewish people, totally, without a shadow of a doubt. You know what I mean? The whole electrical union was formed by Jewish people and Jewish gangsters back in the day and everything else. So more Jewish people. So it's weird to hear that they're Norwegian, Little Norway over there by Forest Hills and everything else. Oh, Regina Goat is saying Little Norway is in Red Hook. It's Red Hook. Shit. Is it? Really? Red Hook ain't no... Red Hook is all black people. I've been to Red Hook projects many times. Many times got into a brawl in Red Hook projects. And believe you me, that's one of the worst projects in the city. That's facts. You know what I mean? Like you escape with your life in Red Hook projects. And that's facts right there. Like you lucky to escape if you make it out of them projects. For real. And everything. But again, I don't know that population. That's right. I'm guessing Norwegians used to live there. Yeah, of course. Things do change after a while. Neighborhoods change about things. You know what I mean? Neighborhoods change and stuff when after a certain time, people move away. I remember Main Street was no Korean people there at all. And if you go to Main Street now, it's all Korean people. And that's basically because of Connie Chung, the news reporter who was Korean out there, who basically put all the people on, put all the building and moved in all the Korean people out. Without a shadow of a doubt. Jackie C points out that Norwegians can't be Jewish. Yeah, Jewish is a religion, so anyone can be Jewish, right? I mean, when we really look at it, being Jewish is a religion and stuff, so anyone could be, or the original Hebrew, the Hebrew Israelites are black men, and everything. Brooklyn says, when Patrice searched Williams' background, he had a residence in Forest Hills. Yes, he did. We pointed that out on the last stream that he lives in Forest Hill. He has a residence out there. And someone else pointed out, like, his name is WWW, I guess, for like the internet, William Wallace, what was it? William Wallace Wheeler, but it's 3 W's there for his name and stuff. The Fifth Wall says after she looked inside the crib, she floated away. I don't see that because that was a very cinematic shot because they blacked out everything and just showed the blue of the crib. You could not see her feet. You couldn't see anything. That's more, to me, that's more of a cinematic shot. I don't see her floating from that shot. And if it could have just gave that effect by the way the camera actually moved more than her floating. I think if she's going to float, you have to show it. You can't hide it like that. Like, you can't leave it up for debate. If she's actually floating and she's doing this, you got to see it now. You got to show it. Now, again, the fact that she could have witch's blood, it could be a fact that she wasn't able to swim. But even in that position that she was in, sorry, someone's hitting me up. It could be this cat. It could have been the clothes that she was wearing that weighed her down. It could have been something like that going on there. So it's hard to tell. She had that big ass hoodie on, right? That hoodie heavy. So it could have been the clothes weighing her down there. You know what I mean? So I have to go back and look at it again and see if we can get a clean shot. I'll make a video on it and I'll break down each scene so that we can see exactly if it was a float or not. And see everything. I thought I thought she ran after she did a superhero landing. I thought so too. but people saying she floated down the street. We'll see. Call in 518-290-0848. It usually doesn't take this long for people to call in. All right. Usually people have called in before that. So I don't know why y'all being so afraid all of a sudden to call in. Usually have people call in. Let's see. Eugene the Great, it says the Norwegians began settling in Brooklyn 150 years ago, primarily in Red Hook. In 1874, they moved a ship to Red Hook and built several churches on the land in Brooklyn. Good to know. Thank you for those facts. We do appreciate that. So yeah, I guess maybe little Norway is out there, but how is everyone getting to Queens? So it could be two different situations, right? Forest Hills could be the land of the trolls. Brooklyn and Red Hook could be the land of the witches with the Norwegians, unless they're Fae over there, because we just don't know what they are. You know what I mean? We don't know what they are. We don't know if they're Fae. We don't know if they're just straight witches. You know what I mean? We don't know. So it's hard to say. Luna says Emma flashed back on her life just as Apollo did when she was in the water. What do you think that means? You know, again, I think that means that you're close to death, right? I think that's what they were going for, that you're close to death. And usually that's what happened in your life when you're about to die. They claim that your life flashes before your eyes. And I think the strength when she's seen her child is what gave her the strength. It's the same thing with Apollo. When he's seen his child, that's what gave him the strength to carry on, to push on, not to succumb to death and say, I have something to fight for. So I think that's why they did that scene in there. Me personally. Daisy said she did glide down the steps, but not in a supernatural way. I think just like a fireman. I thought, yeah, you know, and again, that's not natural for her to do that. She's not a fire person. You can't just go down a pole like that. She was definitely possessed. There's something going on with her, you know what I mean, without a shadow of a doubt. She definitely was possessed with something to make her do that. Again, you can't touch the bottom of a hot pot like that with the bottom of your hand and not be possessed, and not feel it, not flinch, not jump, not nothing. The way she was moving around, twitching her neck and everything else, it was as if she was under some type of possession when she did all that. So, you know, it's just something that known people do. So there's some possession going on inside of her body, without a doubt. Now, did the possession give her the strength to do this? Quite possible. You know what I mean? Maybe it was a possession that did that, gave her the strength to do that, but she definitely was possessed. They ain't no way around that shit. You know what I mean? No. Listen, I'm a skilled man from Queens, and I did a lot of things growing up, and jumping down poles like that. I never slid down no damn pole like that my whole life. And it just never worked like that. So definitely something's going on. Jess say, I don't want to be spoiled, but you're telling me it's a fireman's pole involved. I am not saying that there's a fireman pole involved at all. At all. Sheeta was she wearing Heelys? She could have had Heelys on. You know, Heelys is something that I really wish that they had when I was a child. I swear to God, I wish I had some damn Heelys when I was a child. I do. Carla Wade, all the way from the land down under, is in there rocking with us right now. Thank you so much, Carla, for coming in here and rocking with us and everything else. I do wish I had some damn Heelys. I didn't have shit but a Slinky. A shitty ass Slinky. What kind of toy is a Slinky? The shitty ass Slinky. That's terrible. Maud Mary says, what if she is going between two realms? In the real world, she's Emma. In the fairy tale world, she's a powerful sorcerer. It could be. When we hear about it and we hear Cal talk about it, she goes, but it could be. I agree that she could be doing that, but at that point, because I think that it's a portal that brings you into these realms. I don't know if it's Like how, I just don't know if it. I would think it'd be more like when like Apollo right now in the picture behind me, when you see him like he runs through the trees, and I think he's in that realm. I don't think you could physically be in two places at one point. And that would be the problem. But I do think it's something going on there, which it could be. I have to give that some more thought. Um, I'm trying to see right now if Real Enigma hit me up, but he did not, and everything. If she is venturing into the forest that leads me to the troll or Fae future encounter, but we listen, it's got to go down with this Fae and everything else. It would have to happen. It would have to happen. Not the next episode. The next time we see her, right? Because we went back 3 months. We got Apollo. Then we went back 3 months. Seems like they're jumping from one storyline to the next. So it's a good possibility that we're going to get Apollo's mother in this next episode. We have to. They did not show that suitcase with his mother dragging that out, not to pay that off. That has to get paid off. So we have to learn more about Apollo's mother and what's going on there. So we might get some Apollo mother stuff in this next episode. And then the episode after that would be the episode that we get to see her and how so what they've done, from what I've seen in this show, is they showed Apollo figure something out, and then they showed Emma there before him, right? So like they showed Apollo how Apollo got to the island. Then they showed Emma, who was already at the island and left, how she got there before him. And then he seen things there that she had already done, like making the carving and everything else inside of the cell. So I think it would be I think that we won't see her in the land of the trolls until we see him get there. And once he enters there, then we'll see how she got there and everything else. I think that's the way that they've been showing this show, and I think that's how they're going to do it in the end. That's just my opinion from what I've seen, the way they've been showing the show. But it could be something different. But it seems they show him reach a point, and then it shows how she reached that point before him. Yeah. So when they did that baby swap, I do believe happened when he was inside of the when he found that book. That's when the baby swap happened right then. When he found the book, if I have this thing, I could pull it up and I could show you. But the baby swap happened right there in that basement. Right there in the basement, they did it. Let's see what else people are saying. What in the significance of Apollo always saying, I am the god Apollo? I think it's more, I brought it up a little. We talked about this before. I think it's more like me. Let me put me in this position real quick. I think it's more like me saying, like, I'm the Don Tony Teflon. Or if I met a chick and I'm like, shorty, I'm the Don, baby. What you talking about? You know, and I always call myself the Don, and she was like, you can't do that. I was like, I can't do that? Shorty, I'm the Don. What you think? You know, like, can you make it over there? Can I make it over there? I'm the Don, girl. But I think his thing was, I'm the god Apollo. You know what I'm saying? I think that was his line. So I think that's what it was, more than anything else like that. That's what I think it does have some significance. Like when you look at Apollo, when you look at his sisters and everything else, it does have some type of significance. But why he's saying it itself, I think that's what it is. Marek says Patrice had something to do with the baby. He was there. He wasn't in the basement though. But we do know that Patrice was the one who connected with William Wheeler, and also told him when he was because Patrice is suspect. Don't get me wrong. He's got blue all around him. There's always blue. When he was in that control room, there was blue all around him. This William Wheeler goes to a group where they're discussing their problems, and happens to have the same lady in there that he's videotaping that had to kill their baby also, right? So, and then says Patrice is the one that's, and saying that Patrice is the one that had him there, that sent him there. So it is all suspect, because why would Patrice send him there? You know what I mean? There's definitely some suspect stuff going on there with Patrice and everything else when we look at that whole situation. Unless he lied about that whole thing and just threw Patrice in there. But Patrice knew, like, listen, you're gonna sell this for all this money. This guy's willing to give you all this money for this thing. You know, you gotta meet up with this dude. It says the phone is not in service. All right, that's impossible. Let me check it out though. 1 second. Let me refresh it. All right, the phone. I refreshed the phone. It should still be there. It is. All right. If you can, try again now. If you can, I just refresh the page with the phone and see if it works now. Let me know. Give me a call. Let me know if it's working. If not, then we'll try something else. Maggie P says, awesome series, great storytelling. I agree. Brooklyn says Patrice might be a troll himself. Green hair, hairy, green hair. That's in troll. Quite possibly. He's around. He's in the blue, so he's always seen in blue. So blue means something, and he could definitely be going on there. It said Patrice immediately dropped our guard, giving us a sob story about his war and PTSD. To me, that is a misdirection tactic. Could be 100%. There may be more people than you think going on in this show that are trolls and fae and everything else. And again, I don't think we're going to get a whole lot of answers this season. I think we'll get more answers in season 2, but I don't think they're going to disappoint us with the ending. I don't think that's going to be the case. Someone says, the baby is still alive because Emma said she can feel it. She also asked Cal to give the poem book to Brian, Apollo's dad, if he stops by. So Apollo's dad is still alive. Yeah, Apollo's dad is definitely still alive. He's just inside that suitcase. He's at the bottom of the sea inside that damn suitcase, but he's alive. But he's in that suitcase, guaranteed. I'm telling you, he's in that suitcase. I promise you, when it's all said and done, you're going to see him get pulled out of that damn suitcase. He's in there. And that's what it is. I promise you. Again, and if his dad is a fairy, hey, it makes me laugh to say that his dad's a fairy. And I know that's probably not a nice term or whatever. Not that there's anything wrong with it, right? But if it's a fairy, you don't know which size these damn fairies are. He could be in that. He's in that suitcase. I'm telling you, he's in the suitcase. He's in the suitcase. You guys find him at the bottom of the sea. I think he's alive. Listen, when Dracula, what movie did I see where Dracula was in the boat? under the water, but he couldn't get out because he was under the water and everything else. You know what I mean? Forgot what movie that was. But he was under there for a billion years or whatever, Dracula. He was still alive under the water, right? Until he's able to get out of here and everything else. Yeah, Apple TV is dumb inexpensive. So yeah, I tell people that you should get Apple TV. It's done inexpensive. If you can get anything, I would definitely get Apple TV. We got Phil the Issues guy in the building, rocking with us, and our man KP is in the building, rocking with us. Did anybody try the number? I know you're saying before the number wasn't working. Did anyone try the number to tell me if it's working? It should be working. Lakeshore says it is entirely reasonable to think that magic lore can exist and OG Brian can be in that. Of course, we're dealing with magic. We've been dealing with magic, trolls, fairies, and everything else. Anything is possible. You know, anything. To say that it's impossible is just not what the show is about. Listen, why are they going to show that? Why are they going to show how to drop that down there if they're not going to reveal what's in there? All right, we got a phone call. See if we can get it.
Call from
C-Note, the last greatest.
To accept, press 1. To call from
C-Note, the last greatest.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press...
What's going on? You're rocking with the Don Tony Teflon.
Hey, Tony, that's you right there?
That's me.
Okay, just making sure that wasn't the email. Everybody was saying that the phone wasn't working. This is C-Note right now. If y'all couldn't get inside of the chat, y'all, maybe y'all was just typing the number in wrong. It was 518-290-0848. And as you can see, the number is working right now. I just wanted to call and make sure because I thought I seen Maggie or someone like that say it wasn't working. Now, when I did call you, I wasn't able to still watch the YouTube on my phone and call you at the same time. Mm-hmm. But this is the first time I think we talk on the phone together. So what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good. What's going on with you?
I'm chilling, man. I'm kind of hot in my room right now, but you know, I'm enjoying the live so far. I did catch it a little bit like 10 minutes late, but I did put that notification up to say, hey, remind me about that. And so I'm here, man. I'm here. I'm glad to be here, man. And ever since
go on.
I think when I first started following you, I was following the Dexters.
Yep.
New Blood.
Yep.
And then when I heard this, I was like, wait, this sounds kind of interesting. So I was looking at it, I said, let me watch this dang show. And I caught it at a reasonable time, around like 3 or 4. And man, I like it. I like it so far. You said that 6 was your favorite one so far?
Yeah, I like this episode. I don't know if it's my favorite. I didn't say that. I would say a favorite. Yeah. It was a good episode. Really good episode. I wouldn't say it's my favorite episode. I would say the episode when he's getting his ass kicked with the hammer was my favorite episode.
With that hammer?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I think we got the most information from there.
Sorry, I didn't notice when they were saying that they seen Emma floating or something like that. I not also seen somebody say it was probably when that time when she threw the phone inside the garbage or something like that. I did not see that.
Yeah, I didn't see the float myself, but a lot of people are saying that she was floating. I'm gonna go back and take a look at it. They're trying to say that when she came down the ladder, the fire escape, and she went down the block, that she floated down the block. She wasn't actually running.
Yeah. I do agree with you that not just some regular woman could just do that, you know, touch the pot, you know, slide down that pole. Like, I mean, the fire escape, like how she did. I was also thinking about another thing too. I was thinking maybe there could be like a few creatures that was inside of the New York River, and for some reason I'm thinking that the island that they on is some type of mythical creature that you can't see.
Okay.
And that on the back of that creature has to be some land. I mean, what you think about that?
I mean, it could be. I remember, you know, that would be who did. I mean, That would tend to lean to like the Chronos theory and all that. That when you have a something that's so huge that people are living on, like a giant turtle, no one knows it's actually a turtle's back. You know what I mean? Because it's so huge. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is.
I don't know yet.
When you go, I think that when they go into the other plane, when they go into the world with all the trolls and stuff, then we will get our answers to all that.
Maybe. I think I had two more questions too, because a few episodes you actually mentioned something that was very interesting to me, and I wanted to know, how did you find out about that information? You said
Sure.
a guy who was a graffiti artist, which his name was Freedom something, and that's where he was actually someone in real life living underground and had different type of graffiti artists. How did you find out about that?
Well, I used to write graffiti back in the day when I was younger. Like, graffiti was a real huge part of my life. In fact, the hip hop community, the hip hop culture, I remember when hip hop was first developed. I wasn't there when it first started. I was too young. My brother was. When I got a little older, they were all into that. And graffiti was one of the major points in hip hop. It was breakdancing, graffiti. This is before. Back then, there really was no rappers when it first started hip hop. It was more about breakdancing, DJing, and graffiti. Rapping came secondary, and the rappers came after that. So graffiti's always been a huge influence, especially in the city, in the hip hop culture. So as a graffiti artist myself, I knew the history of the graffiti artists, and I remember people talking about the dude, and I always heard about that, about the Freedom Towers and everything else, because he was one of the first persons to actually do what is called a blockbuster, which is when you take wall paint and you use the wall paint to make huge block letters and put them up there. And he was one of the first artists who did that.
Wow. Real quick, I remember I remember one time I came home to my grandmother's house. This was like I was real young, but I guess my mom knew someone who was a famous graffiti artist, and he used to put his tags everywhere. But that person came in my mom's room when she was a young girl and put his tag in her room. And my grandmother was so mad about it, she painted over that tag, and she was yelling at her, "Don't tell him to come back over here," and da 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 da.
Yeah.
But I remember it looked like a man with an afro. That was his like tag. I don't know if you know what that is, but it looked like just like a man with an afro. But anyway, the last question I wanted to ask you was, those underground trains, was those actually the old models of those trains back then?
Yeah, those are the models of the old trains. That was from the Long Island Railroad system that they had back there that went out. But that's the way. So it's not the same subway cars. Those are the special Long Island Railroad cars. So that's why they look different than the actual subway cars. And when they used to transport the president through there at that time, the president was handicapped and he was in a wheelchair. But back then, we didn't have no Twitter, you didn't have anything like that, or people with camera phones. So they never wanted him photographed or in the wheelchair because they thought it would be a sign of weakness. So when he used to ride in the wheelchair and everything else, they brought him down that underground path so no one would see him, and then propped him up in front of the cameras and stuff.
Dang, wow, really? I never knew that. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. So he used to like sit behind of like the platform, not the platform, the
podium
stand, and like they used to put him on like a tall chair.
Yeah.
Like
They prop him up. They prop him up there, and then when the press wasn't looking and taking pictures, and back then the press had a lot more respect than they do now. You know what I mean? Like, the press wouldn't take pictures of you in that condition. They respected the office. You know, when Mickey Mantle played baseball and Babe Ruth, those guys used to play drunk. They used to be out there drinking, smoking inside of the dugout. They just smoked cigarettes while they played baseball games. But you never see any pictures of that because people have more respect and didn't take pictures of that. Nowadays, if someone was doing that, there'd be a video of it, you know. But back then, they respected people's privacy a little bit more.
Yeah. That was back then when it wasn't so much. So that's very interesting. I didn't know that, but I was thinking like, Dag, how did he know about that Freedom guy? And, you know, and also just the visuals of the old trains and the models and stuff. I was like, was that actually how they looked? And it just kind of got me curious, because that was a good point when you said people used to actually live down there like that, just to find shelter. So I was like, wow.
Yeah,
There's a lot of things about New York.
Yeah, and in
that's
New
very
York, New
interesting.
York almost was bankrupt. I mean, when you look at what happened with New York and the history of New York, the city itself was just about bankrupt. I mean, the federal government refused to bail New York out. So at one point in the early in the 80s and late, not 80s, but the 60s and 70s, New York was about to go bust. And at that point, it was just, every man for himself down there. So, and it was a whole political thing that you can look up and you'll see it that, the government itself refused to give the state of New York City, any type of money and everything. And eventually it took back around when the basically the tech age came in the 80s and all that is what really changed New York around. In the late 70s with the clubs and everything else, that's what got New York back on its feet and everything else. So New York would have been a dead city.
Dang. Now, okay, this just popped up into my mind, but because I know that Apollo does sort of seek revenge out for the killer of his baby, or so he thinks, and that's Emma. Now, they both had, like you said, kind of went through that situation to where they flashed back at their lives and felt like, okay, I got something to fight for. And they started both glowing. He maybe got power from the sun. Maybe she got some power from, realizing that maybe she drowned or something. We don't know yet. But they got some type of a power. Do you think that if someone like William and his trolls and stuff like that was to come to try to fight and to kill off the children and everything like that, do you think Emma and Apollo would fight together side by side? And what powers do you think they would actually have?
I don't think they're going to be there on the island when it happens. I think the island will get massacred and Apollo may have to flee for his life. Obviously, if you look at William and you look at the beating that he was able to take, obviously he's stronger than he looks, right? There's something going on there. You take a beating like that. And they specifically said that they were going to burn him. So it could be that that's the only way to kill these trolls is to burn them. So I think that if he did get the signal off and there's going to be a bunch of trolls on there, and he said specifically to Apollo, if you don't do this, everyone on this island is going to die. I think that that's what's going to happen. Everyone on the island is going to die. I think that they're going to come there and they're going to massacre everyone, the children and everyone else on the island.
Say that one more time. You said if he doesn't do what, then they're going to die?
I forgot exactly what he said, but he said something. He said to Apollo, like, if you don't do this or blah, 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 everybody on this island is going to die. Is exactly what he said. But the way he said it, he made it seem like the witches were going to be the ones to kill everybody on the island. But the reality is going to be that it's going to be his troll kind that's going there and going to kill everybody on the island. Because all those people on the island killed all the changeling babies, probably with troll babies. And they're upset that they did that and they're going to kill those women for it.
Man, I hope you're able to get Apollo on the show, so on the chat, so we can ask some questions.
I will. If the views go up and I can get the views and everything else, that's all it really comes down to. If I got the views and I got the subscribers, he'll come on. I can get him on. Getting in contact with him.
We're gonna try that.
Getting in contact with him and his people is not going to be the issue.
Share the chat.
Huh?
Yeah, everyone share the chat. Make sure y'all share the chat, especially because I know you said you're gonna do some on Wednesdays too and talk about a different topic. But on these days when we had this topic about the show, please share the chat. The phone number. It's 518-290-0848. Y'all calling. It's working.
I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate that.
Hey, let me get back to the video.
All right, man.
I'll talk to you soon, bro.
All right, one.
All right.
Yeah, phone line seems to be up and running and everything else. So definitely call in when you want to call in and everything else and all that good stuff. We about that life, you know what I mean? That's right. That Don can do it. I get it done. I'll get it done. Wait until I gotta talk to Phil about it too. Wait till you see this thing that I got prepped up for y'all. This I'll say convention just for a lack of a better word. But wait till you see this. Wait till you see it. When you see it, you're gonna be like, "Yo, this is gonna be." Mars says he's terrible with interviews, but cool. Listen, it ain't he gonna be interviewing with me. It ain't gonna be like no regular interview. We're gonna get it at him. We all get it out of them, just like we get it out of all when they come on here. You know what I mean? That's just what it's going to be. All right, let's take this next call.
Call from.
Demon Targaryen.
To accept, press 1. To send.
What's going on, Damon Targaryen?
Oh, Tony, I want to go on in my youth.
But real quick, in case you weren't here, KP, and Phil is here now too, and anyone else who's a Game of Thrones person that will be here, Sunday morning, I will be live streaming with Gray Area about the second season of House of the Dragon. And it'll be a simulcast stream. It'll be on her channel and my channel at the same time. So you can either watch it on my channel, or you can go to her channel and watch the same thing. But we'll be doing that.
Man, I'm watching her channel. I'm watching her channel. I'm watching her channel.
But I'm watching her channel. Yeah, we'll be there. We'll be there Sunday morning before.
You know I have a big crush on Gray Area. Come on, you know I have a big crush on Gray Area.
Well,
I ain't afraid no Baltimore, man.
She's single right now too. She's single right now too.
So anyway, listen, I watched over the episode, and she's not floating, but she's moving with supernatural grace, is what I would say.
Okay.
You know, and on top of that, I think on one of these websites, they had in the description of the episode, it says Emma seems to be operating in a supernatural way or something to that effect. So I strongly believe that the writers want us to know that she's doing some supernatural shit, which kind of backs up the whole idea of her being possessed by the witch. Mm-hmm. But as we said last week, I don't think that possession is a bad possession. I think it's more of it's more of that witch giving her of herself, giving her, of her powers. So Emma is there. Emma's controlling the show, but she now has the powers of the witch, helping her to achieve whatever goal it is she wants to achieve. What do you think about that?
I could see that happened. And Carla Way also says that she has a crush on Gray Area also. So you may have to fight her out for that one.
Listen, we can fight. We can fight, Carla. We can fight. I got hands, bro.
I can see that. You know what I mean? I could definitely see that. But as for her helping Emma, I don't know why she would want to. It's been put out there that she's a bad witch, but maybe she's not.
I think that's exactly right. I think the villagers. I mean, the villagers had the worst thing to say about it. I don't know. I watched it on Apple TV, but I don't know if they had subtitles on yours. But I speak a bit of Portuguese. But were there subtitles on yours when you were watching that scene where she was talking to the villagers?
Mm-hmm. The scene
I didn't have subtitles on my when she was talking to the villagers in Brazil.
Yes.
And they were talking about the witch. Were there subtitles when you were watching it?
Mm-hmm. I did.
Okay, cool. Okay, because mine didn't. But fortunately, I speak un poco de Portuguese, so I was able to understand what they were saying. And they had just the worst things to say about the lady, and and it makes sense as they speak about in that same episode, they spoke about people being afraid of women because they have a unique strength,
yes,
especially when they come together. So I think we have to readdress that, I think, last week. But this is my question of this week after the rewatch. Where is the story going? That's something I kind of found myself looking at, because I would tell you.
And real quick, this seems to be the same question you asked for a lot of shows. The same thing you said to me about From, right? Was where is this story going? That's what you told me there.
because I like to know these things.
Yeah, so this seems to be your question. That what you need to know.
It is one of my questions. It is one of my questions. But I'll tell you where I think it's going.
Okay.
There are two places I think it's going. I think it's either going to, one, Apollo is meant, I think, and we kind of brushed over this last week, Apollo is meant to be a defender of the witches against his own son, who will end up being the defender of the other side, trolls, and hopefully, and it may get to a whole war thing, but hopefully it can be resolved. So I think it will actually be resolved in a kind of John and Danny type way, where either there'll be like a parley, and either son will kill father or father will kill son. I think that's where it's going, and then there is a newfound unification between the feminine and the masculine.
Okay.
That's one place I think it's going. The other place I think it's going is more Emma focused, where she'll end up probably end up finding her son, but something happens with those trolls and fairies and whatnot.
Real quick, if it came down to that, she will kill Apollo for her son. She said it straight up.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was going to say.
She specifically said those words. I'll do anything for my son. I'll give my life.
And I believe so.
I'll give my husband's life for my son. She said that.
And anybody who's married or in a long-term relationship and has kids with that person understands that emotion.
I don't know. You know what?
I'm
being honest. I don't know. I know a lot of people who are married who, depending on, love their spouse more. I mean, what is that person from 90? Phil was here, would tell me 90210, Tori Spelling. I mean, her father didn't leave her shit. He left all the money to his wife. Like, he didn't leave that money to his daughter. He specifically said, it's going to my his wife's name is Candy. Candy getting this dough, not you. So I don't know about that. And I know some people who love that husband or love that wife, and there's more than they love anything, even the kid. They love it more than anyone.
There are some. I'm not one of them. In fact, I would be mad at my wife if my wife had an option to save my daughter, my son, instead of saving me, and she chose to save me. Like, our relationship would be over, because I'm like, the whole point of me doing all this, like today, I'm just gonna put my business out in the street a little bit. I spent $16,000 today to redo my air conditioning stuff in my house, because it's 103 degrees down here in Trinidad.
Yep.
So, like, the point being, like, as men, we work hard, we do things not for ourselves necessarily, but so that our juniors could be all right, or at least be better than we would.
Yeah.
If you take my junior away, then what's my point? Because I'm very, very in and of myself, I'm very, very satisfied with doing almost nothing every day. But because of them, I do things. So I understand that sentiment of her saying that, if I have to allow my husband to die too to save my son, I'll do that. I kind of like that. I would be mad if my wife didn't say that. But back to the point, I was saying, I think the second option I was saying is Emma. She finds her son. She probably finds Apollo back, but there's a big kerfuffle, witches versus trolls and fairies or whatever. And Emma survives, but her son Apollo and a bunch of the other witches end up dead, and Emma becomes that witch that she met at the beginning of this season.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen. I think Emma's dead. I think it's over for Emma. She gave her life for those witches. That was a deal she brokered. And I think that's it for her, isn't it?
I think she's going to try to give her life for them. But I think that she's going to try to. But somehow, some way, either Apollo saves her and he ends up dying and she lives, or something happens. And she actually ends up being the last survivor. well, not necessarily one of the survivors, probably the most powerful survivor, and all the people that were close to her die. And then we have a fast forward to 20, 30, 40, 50 years in the future, and we see Emma at that same river in Brazil, in that same position, looking exactly like that witch was looking, and perhaps another young lady coming to approach her, and Emma hoping, okay, maybe this time they'll get it right. And Emma gives that young lady that strength, and the cycle starts over again. Those are two places I see the story going to. So
Right.
I'm gonna let you give your response to that, and perhaps
I will say this real quick before you go.
Don't weigh in on that. I don't know what.
Before you even go, don't even worry about it. It says the witch's eye was blue. That's why Emma glows blue.
So you think, because I know we had a talk last week, we thought blue was the trolls and fairies, and red was the witches. It's probably, I see a kind of a switch now, a switcheroo now. Whether it's intentional or it's just a decision that the costume department made because they like how stuff looks. I don't know. I would like to think it's intentional. But yeah, I did notice that. But into surmising conclusion, let me just say, every episode of this show gets better. I don't know if it's a one season mini series, or if it's going to have multiple series. I hope it does have multiple seasons. But even, it'll be interesting to see how this gets wrapped up. It'll be interesting to see where all the main characters end up. Oh, and one last thing I want to share is, I believe, not even I believe, it's very, very clear that her sister, and other people around her, like her Apollo's mother, that's her mother-in-law, a lot of women around her actually know what's going on. I believe that's true. A lot of women around her in New York, even in that bridal party when she threw the flower and flowers in the road. Mm-hmm. I believe a lot of those women actually know what's going on, and at various points in time during the story, each one of them is going to provide some sort of assistance to her and perhaps die in some kind of weird way. That is a final comment from me. So I'll let you respond to my little soliloquy, and everybody in the chat, have a good night. Listen, we're out here in Trinidad. We're having a really nice time. The air conditioner is blowing really nice and cool. It's 16 degrees Celsius in the house. It's absolutely beautiful. And you guys need to come down here. That's all I'm gonna say. If you're having a conference, let me tell you, we have a beautiful Hyatt on the waterfront. Perfect place to have a con, and people will love to come to Trinidad. What? So you guys have a great night, Tony. Yep. It was real, and I might call back again later if I feel like it. Who knows? I'm the Don. I'm gonna take that cap from you. Boom. Later.
Peace out, my brother. Peace out. Ryan DPG, who's been a member for 3 months, of the Underground Railroad is the Colony House. Seriously though, I want to see the whole series take place around this underground. Again, I don't think the underground thing was a one-off thing. I do believe they will come back to that underground, Wheels and the rest of those people. As for you ladies in the chat, Daisy and the rest of y'all with this Lakeith stuff, listen, there's only one caramel colored man y'all should be looking at, and his name is the Don. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to go back to the weights and lift more weights together. Yeah. Hurt my feelings. It's numbers. I'm this way. I'm a joke. That's what it is and everything. I'm a joke. But yeah, KP, definitely come down next year. We expect to see you here at our convention type situation. We expect to see you here, man. I don't know if you can spend $30,000 on air conditioning, and you ass can bring your ass down here. I don't want to hear no bullshit either. I don't hear no bullshit about that anyway. Anyway, yeah, Ed Vance saying the mole people. Yeah, I do like that aspect they put in there and everything else. Again, so they may have to live down there. Apollo Emma says the police think she's killed the baby. Again, yes, we talked about that on the last stream. Someone brought that up, that could be the final place where they end up and they live down there with the mole people and everything else. Because, it's not going to be at the end of this whole thing where everyone starts believing in magic and trolls and everything. She's always going to be a wanted woman. She's always going to be wanted. She's always going to be wanted for a baby killer. They're always going to think that. You know what I mean? Even if she shows up with another baby and says, I didn't kill my baby. Look, here's my baby. What could they do if they did do that? Would they do a DNA test? Would that happen? Is that where it's going to be? You know what I mean? That's the way it's going to go. You know what I mean? Can they DNA test that thing in the ground and prove that it's not that baby? Could they do that? I guess. But they're going to say, you killed something, girl. You killed something. You can kill something. And that's the way. Again, make sure you call up Don Tony Teflon. We up here right now. You know what I mean? You know the number, 518-290-0848. Come on in there and everything else. Phil, you guys should be joining us. I don't know why he's not, but he should be here watching this show and everything else. Unfortunately, yes, they have to find a secret community. Yeah, most likely. Listen, I think that's a good theory. I think the most likely that's what the end game will be. But I don't think, again, so KP was talking about seasons. When they did the interview with the showrunner and the book person, they referred to it as season 1. So I think it is to have multiple seasons. We got another call coming here. Let's take this call right now.
Call from
M. Branch.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
What's going on? You're rocking with the Don Tony Teflon. Who was calling?
Hey, this is M. Branch from the chat.
What's going on, M. Branch?
Hey, how you doing, Tony?
I'm doing good. Do I have a picture for you in this chat?
Yeah.
There is a picture of you there?
No, I got Ice Bear. I'm hidden behind a.
All right, because I didn't know you were a woman. So
yeah, that's why I do that.
I had no idea. But I'm happy.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Great I'm good.
Great to hear from you.
I wanted to call in because you know what? Something is helping Emma in her search for baby Brian.
Okay, you think something is leading her there?
Yeah, because she was laying on the ground in the forest, and then all of a sudden, supernaturally, this leaf just falls into her hand.
Yeah, that
was not by chance.
No chance about it. That damn leaf just comes floating down, lands on her face, and it's intact and everything else, and all that. No, that there's 100%. And then she goes and she hugs the tree specifically, right? She climbs, hugs the tree, then she sits up and climbs the tree. I haven't climbed the tree in years, and I ain't gonna lie. I have hugged the tree when I was younger. I've done it. I've hung it. But that was not by chance. It was definitely something happened to make her do that. So I agree with you on that.
Yeah, and I think Cal really hooked her up because she's the one who sent her over to Wheels.
Mm-hmm.
Because he knew her name, he knows about baby Brian.
And when
he knows
when you deal with
her whole backstory.
And when you deal with Cal, when you deal with him too, his ass stayed there and waited all night in the same spot and didn't fall asleep for her to come back.
Yeah.
Which was a little suspect to me. And when those cops stopped when they were chasing him, because that little scooter was probably going 1 mile an hour, maybe 2.5. Maybe 2.5. And those cops was like, they stopped running after them.
Right.
So it seems like there could be some type of portal situation when they reach that part of the city.
Or something supernaturally that's her third wish. that she wants to get her family back together. Maybe she knew this was going to happen.
I don't know. You know, we got to look at the wishes as what was going on at that time when she was making that wish, and at that time she didn't have a family with them yet. So that would be the only thing I would say that pushback.
Yeah, but her first and second wish was for a husband and for a baby.
Yep, for a husband, for a baby. But she would,
and she knows from her mother that just because you have a husband and a baby doesn't mean that you are protected. Because when she was having that conversation with her sister Kim,
mm-hmm.
Kim was like, "No, you got to do this by yourself, or else you're gonna end up burning like their mother."
All right.
And Emma was hemming and hawing a little bit, and what did sister do? She pushed her little butt overboard and was like, "You doing this?"
Oh, she didn't push her. That was more than she basically suplexed her. Like her sister watched WWE like I did, and she used the maneuver to get it, because it was a violent push. It wasn't like, you know, a little shovey shove. It was like she fucked her up. Like, yo, I'm gonna fuck you up in this water. You. There's no way you not hitting this water. Like, she fucked her up in there.
Yeah, and she also knew that she couldn't swim.
Yeah.
And she still ain't hesitate in throwing her overboard.
No hesitation.
So that was
no hesitation.
So again, maybe the third wish is Emma's not gonna die.
All right. Maybe it was a wish for immortality. It could have been,
and
it could be that.
And it has to be one over Apollo too, because Brother Man got his butt whooped.
Who Apollo?
And I don't see when he first hit that island and they was beating on him and then they threw him in that water.
Oh yeah, that all right. I think Emma kicked his ass worse than that. When she hit him, I mean, she scarred his face.
That's true.
When she scarred his face and him with that hammer in his mouth and everything else, that was a real ass whooping.
Yeah, that's true. And he walked away from it.
He walked away from there. He was still talking when she was doing it, you know.
So I don't know. I'm thinking a wish is that she keeps her family together.
All right, I would go. We'll see. I'm not gonna. I've given you my opinion on it, but we'll see if that is what the wish, that she keeps her family together. It could be. It could be. Now that you have explained it a little better to me, I agree that that is not beyond the realm of possibility.
Yeah, and I definitely think Baby Brian is still alive.
Yeah,
because the person in charge of disposing of the body, that was her sister Kim, because Apollo gave her the check for it.
Yes.
When he got out of jail.
Yeah, he gave.
And so whatever Kim needed to cover up, she covered it up.
We don't know what happened to that body, because when all we see her in the room is this dirt and the stick in the crib. Right? So we don't know. And apparently something had to be there, because the radio said something, or the TV says something there, and they buried something there. So we don't know exactly what that is. That's been in there and what happened to it.
But when the show first started, remember they were talking to the superintendent of the apartment building.
Yep.
And he said it was something that he couldn't even recognize. So I'm like, they put something else in there in the place of his body.
They could have. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. In the changeling law, they say that when you beat up a changeling, then usually the mother comes back and takes it and gives you your baby back.
Okay. So
it could have been a situation like that, but they didn't give her baby back.
Could be, but next week is going to be good, because it's going to be Miss Lillian's point of view.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
That's going to be good.
Without a shadow of a doubt, I think that that it should be all about Lillian and everything else.
So that's about all that I have.
Well, listen, and Branch, now that I can put a voice to the comment, because once I hear your voice, now every time I read your comment, I'll hear it in your voice, So now,
okay,
and everything else. I appreciate you calling in and everything else. I'm glad that you did. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting the channel and rocking with us.
Thank you. Loving the show. Love it when you follow Game of Thrones. Love it when you're doing this.
So I guess that means you'll be watching.
You the Don.
I guess you'll be watching on Sunday with me and Gray Area when we do the House of the Dragon, man.
Well, unfortunately, Sunday nights I work in healthcare,
It's
I'll
Sunday
be
morning. We're
working.
doing it in the morning, like 10 o'clock in the.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'll be on there because I love me some Gray Area. That's my girl.
All right. That's what it is.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you again. We'll speak to you later. Call back.
Thank you. Okay.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Peace. Phone line is open again. If someone is on the phone, I'm not going to answer when it's someone else. But if you were calling, I heard the call. Just call back right now. The phone line is open. All right now. It's called back and everything else. The news said that they had a body. Yeah, it did say they had a body, but we don't know what that. I'm going to say this, and I don't want to hurt. I don't mean this in no bad way. We will take this, then we'll go back. Come back. Okay, people call. Let's take. All right. We're going to take this one. First call.
Call from
Johnny.
To accept, press 1.
What's going on? You're rocking with the Don Tony Teflon. Who's calling?
Hi, this is Johnny, the Vargas Show.
What's going on, Johnny? I'm going to say the person who just called while you were on the phone, call right back when Johnny's off the phone, and I'll take your call. Sorry, I had to stop you because, can't have that ringing in the background and everything. But thank you for calling in.
Yeah, no problem. So I've been watching you for a long time, years, and I love your content.
Well, listen, don't say that like you shocked.
I love your content.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
So I have a lot of theories.
Let's go.
Okay. So the first theory that I have is basically from the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when she made those wishes, I feel like there was when she touched her, there was a exchange of, like, I don't know if life forces would be the best word, but I feel like they switched.
Uh-huh.
Like, not necessarily possession, but I feel like she basically possessed her. Like, their life forces switched.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think that it's Emma who has those powers. I think that witch is working through her.
So I agree. I think you're right on that. I've said this, and that's it's a body. So if anyone's ever seen the movie Skeleton Key,
Yeah.
I think it's something like that that's happening. Now, whether it's happened or not, we have to see. But I think that's what's going on there. Too grown for you. Just call back. I promise you I'll answer. I want to hear from you. I don't want to read the message. I'll just rather hear you call in. So we'll wait for. We'll just wait soon enough. But I do think that you're right that definitely happened, because they said to us specifically, "Don't let her touch you."
Right.
So it has to be something when she puts her hand on you physically happens there. And the only thing I could see that would be a body swap. So yeah, I'm with you on that.
Right. And then another theory that I have is, well, it's not really a theory, it's more of an observation. So a lot of people are saying they did not see her float. She floated. I rewinded. I was so shocked that I rewinded like 4 times.
You're sure about
And
this floating?
Yes. And my husband was like, she didn't float. And I'm like, yes, she did. And I rewinded, and then he saw it.
Okay. We're gonna.
And then we rewinded again and watched it again. Yeah, she floated. And then another thing I want to say is that I feel like Apollo is a changeling baby. And I feel like maybe when his dad came to the house or something, he was trying to take him back to wherever his dad is from, because I feel like his dad is a part of the lore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, or maybe his bloodline is a part of the lore.
All right.
But I feel like his dad was either aware of what he was and was like trying to do what Emma did,
Mhm.
or I feel like he was trying to, because Lillian was trying to get a divorce from him. I feel like maybe he was trying to take him, because from what I've read about fairies and like trolls and stuff, they want to be good parents. So maybe he wanted to take Apollo back to wherever he was, so that he could be a
I
good
think,
father.
we look at this, we got to put, not that I support the matter or anything, we got to put a little Donald Trump in there saying they aren't sending us their best, right?
Mhm.
They're not swapping out their best with human babies, right? That's not what's going on here. They're not putting the princes and the princesses in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's not
true.
what's going on there. We're dealing with them and everything else. So
Mhm.
I think that Apollo being a change. We talked about this a little before. The show is called The Changeling. Obviously, we're all thinking that we're dealing with the Apollo's child,
Brian.
but it's a good possibility. We thought that Apollo was actually the change, right underneath our noses the whole time. So yes, 100% I agree.
Yeah. And then lastly, so I have one more theory that is gonna sound crazy, but I think that I don't know the best friend's name, but I think Emma told her last wish, and I think that she wants to be a sorcerer, or maybe her last wish was her to be powerful, or like a goddess or something.
I agree that the last wish was to be a sorceress. That's what I said.
Yes,
because you're a smart person.
That best friend,
I'm with you.
That best friend didn't say the last wish to Apollo, but she led with, she looked scary and she looked like a sorceress or an enchantress.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I don't know. I haven't read the book or anything, but I feel like she's a witch. She's asked to be a witch.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you.
And I
100%.
I also think that her mom, the one that burned herself up in the house with her dad, so I think that her mom was a witch.
I agree 100% with you. I agree that she's got that blood in her. 100%.
I'm not sure if her sister's a witch, but I do believe that the mom was a witch, and the dad knew that the mom was a witch. That's why he came home and he was like talking about how crazy she is and stop acting crazy and stuff. So I think that the dad also knew, and he loved her so much that he went back in there to die with her.
All right. I agree with you. And it's funny, if you ever watched Lovecraft Country, we did, it's the same exact.
I'm actually watching that right now.
All right. Well, I don't want to give nothing away. Then we'll talk about that later. Well, why you waited so late? Lovecraft Country was a great show. It really was one of my.
No, I'm on my 6th rewatch.
Oh. But the scene of Apollo's great grandmother when she was in the fire is the exact same effect they used for that.
Yes, and I think that if I feel like if the witches don't actively are going after their kids or trying to find their kids, I feel like maybe the veil is, or maybe not necessarily forget about their kid, but I feel like Emma is different. Her drive.
There's something going on. She's special somehow.
Or maybe she's just more powerful. And I'm confused. Are all those women witches?
I don't know I don't know if all the wise women are witches. I think, so all the people on the island aren't the wise women. They are the people who the wise women have counseled. Right? So we don't know exactly what the wise women, how many wise women are actually on the island itself. But we know most of the women there are the ones that they counseled and everything.
What if Kyle is quote unquote the wise women as like plural because she has two identities.
Yeah, listen, the guy he brought up who she really was, her real name and everything else, and she took that name for a reason. She could be fake. Everything she could be doing could not be what she is. Phil, the Issues guy, asked the question: are there shapeshifters in the show? We have not been seeing a shapeshifter, but we have been told about glamour and people glamoring themselves in the show. So, but we don't know.
I feel like Kyle is like she's portraying multiple people.
Okay.
Like, because I don't feel like there's more than one wise woman. I feel like she's the sole entity.
I could see why you feel that. Tally,
because she's the only one on the shots and she's the only one that's demonstrated magic.
Who, Cal?
Besides Emma.
I mean, what you mean with the puppet?
Yeah.
Moving its mouth?
No, that was a doll. It was a puppet, but it didn't have a mouth to move.
It did.
She's literally glamour.
It did, and the mouth did move. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, she glamored that thing, and she put that little red string on it too.
She did.
Right before she glamored.
She did put the red string on it too. A lot of people missed that too, but she did put the red string on it.
Yeah, I missed it the first rewatch or the first watch. After I rewatched it, I seen it.
Yeah,
but I also someone mentioned it on your live before,
yep.
And I went back to see if I missed it, and I did. But yeah, that's all I want.
Well, listen, thank you for calling in. Don't wait so long next time, all right? Call in.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Okay, have a good one.
All right, another call. We take another call, and then that was another call. Now, again, people calling, and people are already on the phone. I'm not going to answer it. You got to wait till people off the phone. Then I will definitely call in. You call in and answer and everything else like that. And answer Phil Issues guy. I told you already what to do. I'm going to talk after this show. Watch this stupid. All right, let's take this next call. The phone line is finally blowing up. You got two people calling in at the same time. Once again, let's take this call.
Call from.
Too grown for you.
All right.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
What's up, Toon Girl, for you? 916-746-014. I'm not going to say the rest. Call right back. Too Grown for you has been on the line for a little bit. She's been trying to get through. So we're gonna take this call from Too Grown for you. Please call back in. Too Grown for you. What's good?
Hi, how you been?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine. I have two questions.
There we go. Let's go.
Do you believe when Apollo was left every Saturday from his mother, did she either put some kind of salt or spell over the doorway to either protect him or know if the father had been there?
I think
before.
Yeah, I think what happened in that situation was he had the dream, and then he told her about it, and she was aware of it, that he was actually what he was actually doing. And I think that now how she knew the next time when he came, but I thought he came the next time to take Apollo. That's why you hear the thing, "You're coming with me." But she was there and she prevented it from happening. And I think that's why you see her with the bruises on her face and she's got the red thing, it's the red suitcase, and she's dragging it out. I think that's when she put his father in the suitcase and dropped him in the water.
Okay. And my second question is, do you believe when Apollo took his wedding ring off and tied that red string around his finger, that's how they seen that little island?
100%. I think it was the red string. Again, we just talked about it a little bit ago. There was a red string around the doll, right? And it was glamored, and we were able to see the mouth move on the doll and stuff. So I would have to say that the island itself has a huge glamour around it. That's why people can't find it. A fog, and when you put that on there, that's what allowed him to see it.
Okay. Well, that's all I wanted. So thank you for taking my
No
call.
doubt. Thank you for calling. Please call back.
Okay.
I'll speak to you later. Now I got the hiccups all of a sudden. Jeez. Excuse me. I'm trying to get rid of these hiccups. Jeez, why did I got the hiccups? I don't think I had hiccups in years. Let me drink some of this, see if I can get rid of it. All right, let's take this call. Who's calling in? Here. Find it. 1 second. There it is. All right.
Call from.
Vega Targaryen.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
What's going on, KP? 916.
Oh,
Hold on. That was the voice of 916. And we missed it.
Woo!
We missed it. The voice of 916.
Ah, shit. I feel bad about that a little bit. But I'm going to be brief.
All right.
I'm going to be brief. Listen, so the young lady just now said that the third wish was probably for immortality.
Yep.
And a bell went off in my brain. Ding, ding, ding. Makes sense. Because you remember when I said I think Emma eventually turns into that witch by the river?
Yep.
Add that to Emma being immortal and being by that river forever.
Yep.
And meeting herself, whether it's her actual self, Emma from the past, or somebody who is in that same situation. Emma, at the end of the show, because she can't die, and she's experienced so much pain and hurt from losing Apollo and her son and all her friends and whatnot, her only aim in life now is to help other women in that situation to not end up like her. And it probably keeps happening like that, where they all keep ending up like her. And perhaps the whole point of this story is to show that there's going to be one that does not end up like her. Am I making sense of what I'm saying?
It does make sense. And again, we have to look at the whole situation that, the first place that Apollo took Emma on a date is the exact same place that his father took his mother on their first date, right? So it seems that, as Mara Chase says, it's in a loop. There is some type of loop going on for this whole situation for everything else, so it does make sense.
Like George says, like G.R.M. says, history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. And I see a lot of rhyming, in this whole story here. And if it is that she asks for immortality and does receive it, immortality is always a curse. And in every piece of law that you read where somebody becomes immortal, it's a curse. From Dracula, go all the way back to Memory and Thorns, even Marvel with Red Skull. He can't die.
Benjamin Button, anyone, when you live an immortal life, you see everyone you love die constantly.
It always ends up being a curse. In fact, if you let me do a little quick, let me get my Joel Osteen on. If we speak about in Genesis when Cain and Abel fight and Cain wins and kills his brother, what is his punishment? So he gets a mark, and he's allowed to walk the face of the earth forever with that mark on him that everybody who sees him knows that will be able to see and feel his shame. So point being, immortality is always a curse in any kind of law story, and I think equally so here. She's going to become immortal, but she's going to be an immortal person inside this loop, seeing herself and people like her lose and lose and lose. But perhaps this time she loses, but she helps another person who comes after her to win. And if we get 4 seasons to play that out, 5 seasons even, this could be the best show ever. Like, for real. Think about
No,
it. Right?
I'm not saying that's
if we
not,
could
but
see the-
I agree that it could be that time loop if she did wish for immortality over and over. You know, again, you think it's going to be something great, but when you look at actually what it is, and you know, everyone would wish for. I wish I'd never died. I wish I could live forever. You know, you could fame.
Like ask for $10 million and get $1 million a day in your house, right? Like you say.
Exactly.
It's like that.
But when you look at the actual what it actually is, and you have kids and you watch your kids die, and you watch every friend you ever had die, and your grandkids die, and you got to constantly go through all this grief. It really would be a point where you don't want that anymore.
On top of that, she's fighting this witch, troll, fairy war, and she's seeing her side lose over and over and over again, even though she's trying to help, even though she's trying to help the Emmas and the new Emmas that come after her by being this witch that gives them her power. It's still going to be, you see just sorrow in her soul, but hopefully where the series ends up ending is there's an end to that loop where either it ends up having that the witches win and like they repopulate the earth and things get good, or the witches lose. The witches win and the earth and everything gets good, but she's allowed to pass on, or the witches lose and she's left in a space. The witches lose, there's no more Emmas coming, and she's just left in this place of like Cain, just walking the earth as a witch that everybody knows is a witch, can't die, and just immense sorrow. Either of those two endings would be absolutely like if they play it out over 5 seasons and you see one or two other Emmas try and fail, and then one ends up getting, winning or ends up getting through, like we would say in Trinidad. That would be amazing TV. Let me depart from this. Even though I'm boring with Don Hart, I'm gonna give it right back to you. I'm gonna watch the rest of the show tonight. I'm gonna let the voice of 916, that beautiful lady, call in and drop some knowledge on us, and perhaps even comment on what the little nonsense I had to say. So everybody in the chat, have a good night. And Sunday, it's Sunday at 10 a.m. right? That's what we're doing.
It should be about 10 a.m. Yeah, it'll be 10 a.m. Would be great.
All right, I literally have that typed into my calendar right now. So yeah, I don't get up at 10 a.m. generally any day. Which is a side effect of like having your own business. I don't wake up before 10 o'clock ever. However, for that Sunday, I'm going to wake up at 9:30, drink some coffee, and be in front of my TV to look at you guys discuss the House of the Dragons, because I think next season is going to be a doozy, and it's going to be
it's going to be, because we're going to discuss every episode, what we think the episode is going to end, and we're going to discuss the beginning and where it's going to end this season, where we think and everything. Jackie's saying, why 10 a.m.? Because I got to watch football at 1, so I can't. I can't go past that. And me and Gray, we already had like an argument over that. That's why we're doing the video, because we had an argument. Because I believe it's going to end.
What was the argument?
Well, I believe it's going to end in one spot, and she thinks it's going to end in another spot. And I just don't think that they can fit the things she's saying it's going to be in this season and end in the spot where she's saying. So that's where
she thinks it's going to end over the God's eye.
Huh?
She thinks it's going to end over the God's eye.
You think that Damon's going to die in season 2?
No, I don't think that. I'm saying she thinks that, doesn't she?
No, she doesn't. No.
Oh,
Damon,
she really likes God's eye. Like she loves it. She was ridiculously disappointed in that we haven't seen the God's eye yet, especially in season 8. Game of Thrones. She was ridiculously disappointed because of that.
Yeah, so we'll get it popping. I'll let you know and everything else. We'll talk about it then. You know, you come call.
All right,
I have the call the line.
Everybody have a good night.
During that stream.
From Trinidad and Tobago, we wish you guys a good night. We wish you guys could live in paradise too. But listen, paradise isn't for everybody. It isn't for everybody. But we'll accept a couple of you guys to come in. Have a good night, man.
Have a good night. Daisy is saying, what time is that in Belgium? I don't know. We go. Let's go by Eastern Standard Time, like 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I think it would tell you exactly what that is. But I can tell you exactly what's going on there myself. But it'd be like 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And Jackie C is on it, 4 p.m. Daisy. Jackie C, love you, Jackie. 4 p.m. on Belgium time and everything else. So that is what it is. It's the only live I've ever called in. Sorry. No, you did a great job. Don't let people talk to you like that. You did. I don't know what it's saying, but I can't see it saying anything crazy. Faye Fire, what up to my Canadian friend over there, and then the Maple Leaf and everything else and all that good stuff. All right, let me go grab a drink. I'll be right back. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back here. All right, so I'm back up. All right, you want to call him back here? Call up. 42916, please call back. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize it was 916 until I realized it was 916. Thug Mug, we filling it up. All right. We back in business. We're doing our thing again. Make sure you tune in to the stream that we're doing everything else. You know what I mean? On Sunday, the Don Tony Teflon Gray area, rocking out. Make sure you tune into that stream. Make sure you stay tuned. Listen, get ready. Because the con, I can't wait to tell you about everything we got going on in this thing. And Phil, what you got to do, you got to log on to this account here before I go off, so I can talk to you about everything that's going on. Because when you hear everything, it's nuts. It's going to be such a good time. I really want to tell you all about it. I so do, but I can't. But I really do. All right, let's say here we go. 916.
Call from
The Voice at 916.
Hello, how are you? I am so sorry. Well, I apologize that I did not realize that was you. I would have threw him off the phone if I knew.
No, not my brother KP. He always drops some good numbers.
You gotta go. For you gotta go.
Oh my. Let's talk Emma. I have to speak up for my girl.
All day.
Hello?
All day. Let's go.
Oh, okay. Emma,
Okay, let's look at Emma. We look at her as a little girl.
Mhm.
She's got this fire energy. She's fury. She's untapped, right?
Mhm.
Her mother sees that and she's afraid of it. She thinks the only way she could protect her is to take her out. But she can't see herself living without her child, so she's going to take all of her kids out.
Mhm.
Her husband, he sees that, but he doesn't understand. He thinks the mom has just lost her mind,
Mhm.
which most people would think anyway. Fast forward when we see Michelle and Emma as young girls, how the librarian is letting her watch any movie she wants. Emma's preference is to watch certain types of movies about revolt and violence,
Mhm.
right? This power, she's attracted to the power. So that's important to Emma. Now we go even more fast forward to the primordial Emma. The closer she is to nature in the Brazilian jungle, the more attracted she feels to the power of the energy of the earth. That really attracts her, and she pulls that energy as well. She wants to get close to it. When she sees the washerwoman at the lagoon, she is drawn to her. When the washerwoman talks to her and touches her, the washerwoman doesn't possess her. She ignites what is already in Emma. It's like a supercharge.
Yeah.
They're two sisters of a kind. And then she tells her, you can have these 3 wishes for your life. Emma does her wishes, but what Emma doesn't realize is wishes are granted, but you have to protect your wish. They aren't just like given without any protection. You have to guard against them.
Mm-hmm.
So when she let Apollo cut that string, it took away the power.
And she's and the washerwoman tells her specifically, do not cut.
Right. And what that means is to protect that string like you would protect your wishes.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. So and then whenever Emma is close to nature, it just brings it out in her. And we see that most expressed when she's leaving the island and she's rowing away, and she says, she's fierce at that time. She's like a fierce goddess woman.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Faye Fire.
I'm going to say this before you go on. Your boy
Mm-hmm.
KP, he left a message. He said, "I'm in a long time relationship with her voice." So he said that he said that he married your voice a long time ago. Already done.
I get that a lot. To me, I just sound like me.
I hear you. I hear you.
Thank you.
I understand it.
But Emma is just a fierce, proud, powerful woman. I don't think she's possessed. I think what she has is her energy.
Okay, so why was she able to withstand this fire, this teapot?
Because I really think that at that time when that was transpiring between Emma and Apollo and baby Brian, they were inside another portal. They went to a different place.
Okay. So
natural rules don't apply there, as we've seen at any time when they go through a portal. It's different. The rules are different there. We just haven't gotten to know what those rules are yet.
Yeah, and I don't think you if we say that when Wheels took her away in the portal, we didn't see like a whole energy blast when they went through it. So it could just be a natural occurrence that when you go through a portal, it's not like a blast of energy that that you went through. You just went through it.
Yeah, I think it depends on the portal you go through. I think that different portals are different, and so they probably would respond differently. But if when she got on to the cart with wheels, you saw how the lights changed. And I believe Real Enigmas had mentioned this in his video, how you see the blue like a blue streak across. And so that, to me, that indicated they entered a different realm. They were no longer above, they were below.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but I think when we talk about Emma being possessed, that we're really taking a lot of power away from Emma. You know, this is her stuff.
Okay.
This is her journey, and, you know, what's going on with her.
I hear what you're saying. I unfortunately, as beautiful as you are and as your voice sounds, I have to disagree a little bit. I think she's possessed. I think it's the way she's moving around, the way the neck is twitching, the way and everything else. That's not the Emma that we've ever seen or gotten to know. And I don't think sleep deprivation got her to that point. When she's coming down that fire escape, it's a different Emma than when she's running away from the cops. When she's running away from the cops, she looks like a white girl getting chased by Jason. She's about to fall. She's stumbling. She's about to go down, you know. And all of a sudden, she was like Spider-Man coming down that thing, and the dexterity in her was different. So for those reasons, I would have to disagree.
Now that I would agree with you, that is not the Emma we have seen, but haven't we all been in a situation where we have responded quite differently than what we would normally respond, depending on what's going on? And it could also be the showrunners shot to show us that this is different. This is not, you know, this is different. That she is moving differently because she's in a zone. She's in that other zone. She's not the typical Emma that we have seen in other scenes. So it could be either way, or you could be right. But I tend to believe that she is not possessed, and she's just going to that zone place. You know, she's in her protection mode, and she is on a mission to get her son.
We shall see.
And to do whatever it takes to get her son.
I agree with on that last part. Daisy, 3:30 a.m. Thank you for rocking with us this early in the morning. Get some sleep.
Wow.
Hope to see you on the next stream or next time. It's great meeting you again. Who cares about Lakeith thinking about the Don Tony Teflon? Besides that, you know, I agree with you on points, but then again, on other points, I go a different way with it. I just think that they wouldn't have showed her. They showed her in the possession. You know, they tried to play it off like she was sleep deprived, but when we seen her get the chains and everything else, she did not act the way she acted until Apollo was chained up, and it just seemed like she was taken over by another body. It just seemed like to me.
She was different.
Do you think that Emma that we've seen would really smack this dude in the face with a hammer like that? She had no remorse, no nothing.
She said she would do anything to get her son back. Yes, I think that she would.
Okay. That is exactly what she did say. So you could be 100% correct on that.
And I'm just shocked he lived through that. That was amazing. I mean, who could take a hammer to the head like that? But at any rate, this exchange and this agree to disagree, it's wonderful. That's what makes this community so lively. And thank you for bringing us all together on this. And Sunday, definitely, I will be there. I'm a Grey fan as well.
I can't wait to see you there. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for being a part of this challenge community. We really appreciate you.
Well, thank you, Tony, and always stay sexy, baby.
You too.
Right,
bye. That was the voice of 916 chiming in. Don Tony Teflon, all us and everything else in here. As Serena Divine 23 says, great call. 916. Make sure you hit the thumbs up for your boy and everything else. We do this, you know what I mean? Lady Ace says the bedroom door flew open by itself when she came out to grab the teapot. Something happened there, unless she kicked that motherfucker and we didn't see it, but that door definitely did. What up to my girl Anna from the Red Lipstick Club podcast and from the After Dark streams on Teflon TV. Anna will be at our convention that we do next year. I guarantee it's Again, me calling it a convention is the only word that I can say that won't give away exactly what it is. But I'm telling you, it's going to be something special. And I can't wait to give you more details about it. And soon you will get more details about it and everything. The only detail I can give you for fact is that gray area will definitely be there in it. And it'll be amazing. Take this next call.
Call from
Chris.
to accept, press 1.
Yeah, Chris, are you on the highway or something? What's going on?
Oh yeah, apologies, man. I'm out in the front yard.
It's all good. It's all good.
Am I coming through okay? Is it kind of muffled?
Yeah, just try talking to the phone so I can hear you, bro. That's all.
All right, man. This is I called in last week.
Yep.
Lillian has hands. That's gonna be my new name when I call in. Apollo's mama has hands. She put the beats to Brian, and this might be my favorite episode because we're gonna get to see. I think she's gonna be boxing or something. We're gonna learn Lillian has hands.
She put the beats by Dre to his ass. That's what you say.
So I didn't see that. I guess the trailer is out for the next one. So this one is supposed to be Lillian's perspective. Is that correct?
I didn't hear you. You got to talk. It just faded out. Hello?
What was it? I'm sorry. What was
Yeah,
that?
you faded out. I couldn't hear you at the time. So say that again.
Yeah. So I didn't see the trailer, but I assume this episode is going to be Lillian's perspective.
I have not seen the trailer myself. I have not seen it.
Okay.
I said that just guessing that's what it would be about, but it seemed like people may have seen the trailer. If you have seen the trailer and it is some type of trailer, send it to me personally if you can on Teflon TV on Facebook, the link, so I can watch it. I have not seen this trailer.
Okay. So the last episode definitely took me for a little bit of a spin. I think they tried to save Emma. Like, she's really just doing this to get her child back. So for a minute, they had us thinking she was bugging, but they kind of brought it back. We're like, nah, she's really trying to fight for the kids. So I think that was a pretty good episode, bringing it back together. So
yeah, I like the way that they do that. They set it up to make you think one thing, and then they show you what it actually is.
Right. So it's going to be interesting to see how they wrap it up. But the more I'm seeing it, is Apollo split. I think a couple people have said it, maybe because of his father. He does have that. Maybe he does have a little troll or Norwegian in him, but at the same time, he married a witch, or his mom is very possibly a witch. So it's he half and half. I think that's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, I think it's some duality that he has both bloods inside of him. Whether it's troll blood and witch blood, or witch blood and elf blood, he definitely has both of them inside of him, which makes him special.
Right. That's about all I had, man. I just wanted to call in.
I appreciate it.
About to get her moment to shine. She has hands. We're gonna see this week.
All right, definitely. Call back. I appreciate you.
All right,
one. And thank you for calling in. Thank everyone for calling in, rocking with us. We're at the 2 hour mark right now. We'll go for another half an hour. How about that? We'll do another half. Go for another half an hour and everything. I haven't seen any trailer. If people have seen it, the link, send me the link privately so I can see it. I haven't seen any trailer for it and everything else. Again, you know the phone number to call. 518-290-0848. As Anna said, I can't wait to be there. Anna will be there live. It's going to be an amazing time. I can't wait to tell you everything that we got going on there. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be an amazing time. Watch. Remember I said it. And then when you get down to it, and you can be like, yo, I never had a time like this in my life. MJ Jones has said a lot of things in these chats I've seen, and I would like to address a lot of it, but I haven't had a chance to because I'm doing this and everything else. When you call in MJ Jones and say all these things that you said in the chat, then I'll be able to address everything that you said and everything else. Teflon TV, didn't Daddy Didn't Daddy Brian say he's from upstate New York, Syracuse? Wonder if he is a descendant from the original Norwegian group. So he said he's from Syracuse, and he's from Boonstown, which is not too far from Syracuse. Let's see this one.
Call from
Ganell from Las Vegas.
Vegas, baby.
to accept, press
Hold
1.
on, you rocking with Don, Tony Teflon. Who are you talking to?
Yo, this is Ganell from Las Vegas. How's it going?
I'm good, man. What's going on with you?
Not much, man. Just kicking back after, a long day. I called a couple weeks back after I had just moved to Vegas. Ran some theories by you, man. You
real
had
quick, let's
some good
before
input
you
and
go
stuff.
into that, real quick. You just moved to Vegas.
Yeah.
Just moved to Vegas. How was it out there?
I'll be honest with you, man. It's pretty hot, you know what I mean? But I've spent a lot of time outside. I've been doing odd jobs like crazy the last couple weeks, moving jobs and just filling in, wherever I can, to get some bread and fucking. It's been pretty nice out here, man. I got a tan. I'll tell you that.
That's what I'm saying. The actions, because visiting Vegas and actually living in Vegas is two different things. So I'm just saying, living
certainly.
their day by day life. How is that?
Oh, I mean, for me, I lived here when I was younger. Actually, I'm moving back here. When I graduated high school, I had moved away to California, and I'm coming back now.
Okay.
Like a dozen years later. But it's maybe as a kid, it wasn't the dopest place to grow up, by any means. You got to cover a lot of ground around here. There's a lot of highways. So moving back here at this age with, a car and transportation makes a world of difference. I've actually gotten to know the other sides of Vegas where I never really got to spend much time, gotten to know a lot more people that way. That's for sure. And it's nice out here. I can't complain. It's a lot more friendly faces out here than I would have anticipated. Just moving back here, everyone's super welcoming, actually.
I asked for a specific reason, but I won't get into that right now. But thank you for giving me that. All right, what you want to talk about, brother?
What is it? Is it because you want to come do a convention out here, man? Because they got the hall.
I'm just talking about. I can't get into details. The convention, but I will say the convention is going to be in Nashville. We're doing the convention in Nashville. That's already live.
Well, that's dope. Hey, I've always wanted to go to Nashville and see Tennessee in general. So that's actually really cool. I don't know if you know much about the Sphere that they have here, but that's a pretty brand new thing, man.
I want to go see this.
Dude, it is crazy, man. They had it was like a giant eyeball. Like I've seen all kinds of stuff on it, man. It looks unbelievable.
Yeah, I gotta see it. I gotta come to see the Sphere. I have no choice but to see that motherfucker. I have to go see that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you got to go on that. I don't know if you ever been up on the Stratosphere. I never got to go when I was younger, but I'm about to go up on the Stratosphere and go swing around up top there for a bit.
I'm not gonna kill myself. I'm black. I got enough excitement in my life. I'll see the Sphere, but as long as my feet stay on the ground, I'm with it. If anything that take my feet off the ground, Don can't do it.
Yeah. Well, shit. Don't worry. I'll scout ahead for you, and I'll let you know how it is, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. Oh, actually, side note, man. Guess the place where I got a job at, man, is that your home away from home, man? The New York.
Say it again. I hear you say that again.
It's at the New York. I got a job at that hotel.
All right.
On the other strip.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Listen.
You're home away from home, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Definitely. What did you wish to talk to about this show?
Well, I mean, everyone's got a lot of interesting theories. Like I say, since I called in, a couple weeks ago, I've been able to listen into most of the live streams, but I'm busy to the point where I can't actually call in. But I've heard a lot of people saying some, interesting stuff. Like KP, his theory, that there's like a war going on, that his Apollo son Brian might, they have to fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting theory. I don't know about the show going in that specific direction because, he's just a baby. Like, I don't know what this baby is really going to do to fight anybody right now. But, I kind of see that it could be like if a lot of time lapses in the show, that could be a possibility. I know I gave my theory that Apollo's actually a changeling, and I've seen a lot of people kind of gravitate to that in different ways as well,
It
with
makes
different little spins. I
100%.
think
It makes 100%, sense that the show
my
being the
idea I think
changeling
could
and
be
him
tweaked
being
a
the
little
actual
bit though,
changeling. So I agree that could be the case. Let me just say thank you, Frederick, for the super chat that was sent to the Cash App. I truly appreciate that. But yeah, 100%. I agree that it could be that. 100. If it was, it wouldn't be like it's out of left field or anything. I could definitely see that.
Yeah. Your idea though that it's the dad in the suitcase, I mean, probably makes a little more sense. She's dragging that suitcase kind of heavy. I don't know, maybe her little 4-year-old son, he eats a lot when she's gone, but I don't know. It's probably the dad in there,
Yeah, if it was a changeling,
my theory could be amended.
If it was a changeling baby, it couldn't be that heavy. That's in there. I mean, unless you have the chains in there, also, it wouldn't be that heavy. But it could, if you have the chains in there and the changeling baby and the baby, definitely that, yes. But just the baby itself, it wouldn't.
Yes. Yeah, it wouldn't be that heavy. I mean, I thought maybe it's the dad and the changeling baby. Maybe she's just, cramming them in there. But, I don't really know. Maybe suitcases were, built pretty big inside back in the day. I don't really know. Right. But I have a couple, I guess, thoughts running around into my head about the, his mom Lillian and the dad. The one detail that sticks out to me is that the dad pursued the mom for like 9 years. That's a hell of a long time to be trying to get with one specific woman, and I think that sticks out because, I mean, knowing all this, supernatural stuff going on in the show, I would say that the dad was pursuing the mom for a specific reason. Like he wanted to have a kid with her specifically. He knows he's probably a fairy, I guess, is the best idea. If not that, then a troll, whatever it is that these specific mythical creatures are. But he was, going after her for a specific reason. Although I'm a little hesitant to say that his mom is a witch, because maybe she has powers, but I don't know if we've seen really any displays of her having some kind of power in the show. I think that she's just a really strong woman who's been through a lot. Her brother got shot and killed. I mean, she's lived through pretty crazy circumstances, and she doesn't seem to speak, like she actually, Apollo references that she incessantly talks about these hard times that she's been through. But, I don't know if she could be a witch, because Apollo, he doesn't necessarily have like outright powers that we can see, but I think it's just really strange at this point how he says the first time you hear the phrase, you're the god Apollo, is his dad says it to him like he's kissing him like when he's a little baby, and it's like, that's almost like a spell at that point, I would say. Like he's putting a spell on him, because that phrase is repeated, and I just find it like way too unbelievable to be a coincidence that Cal says to Emma, now that we know in episode 6 that only a god could find this place, and then she tells Apollo that same phrase, like, oh, and he literally ran up shouting, I am the god Apollo, when he leaves William in the bushes. That's the first thing that he's saying, and that's the first thing that all these witches are hearing him say. It's just really weird.
I hear what you're saying. Let me talk about that a little bit. So the father saying that to him again. The father wanted to name him Rocky. Right? He didn't just come up with Apollo. He wanted him to be Rocky, the star of the movie. And the mom was like, "You ain't named my little black boy Rocky, all right? It's not gonna work." But we can do
no, that's true.
We can do Apollo. And then the dad then took it and switched it and said, "Well, you're the god Apollo, right? Not the Apollo
exactly,
who got his ass kicked in the show. You ain't him. You ain't him, right? But you the god Apollo." So I think, like, when my children were younger, I had a phrase, and I have like my own personal house words. And I would always tell them, like, I was like, oh, our house words are, it's our world and you're just in it. And I would say that to them when they were kids. And if I went to them right now and I said, what are our words? They would say to me, it's our world and you're just in it. Like, guaranteed. Like, if I went to any one of my daughters, I have 2 daughters, and I went to them, I said, what are our words? The first thing they would say is, it's our world and you're just in it. Because that's what I said that to them when they were kids. You know what I mean? And they remember this over the years. Man. So I think it could have been a situation like that with the god Apollo, that he remembers his dad saying that to him, like, you're the god Apollo. Yeah. And then now and the fact that he missed his father so much because he didn't have him around, that connects him to his father. So he's just took on that thing. I'm the god Apollo, because my father told me so. And that's what it is.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense, actually. That letting me know, that you would say something like that in your own household actually makes that more believable in the show too. And he does repeat it like as he's growing up, so that would make a lot of sense. But it's still just like the coincidences are so weird with that. Actually, I just had a thought occurred to me. The character William Wheeler.
Yeah.
Your question, does he seem about Apollo's mom's age, that he might be around him and his dad's age, or his mom and dad's age?
I think it's hard to tell, because in the end, if he is a troll or something else, we don't know exactly how long they live. He could be 200 years old. He could be, you know what I mean?
Something like
it
that.
could be a situation like that.
Oh, like you said, like the what is it? The lady in Game of Thrones.
Melisandre.
Who's like actually hello. Yeah. Well, it could be like that. I asked because Apollo has that box of his dad's books show up when he's a teenager, which is well after the scene where his dad shows up when, he's just a little kid, where we would say that the dad was, bagged up and, buried with the fishes, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, who would have left that box there for him then? I don't think it would be the dad. It would have to be somebody within, that faction who was, aware of these things. And I just think that William Wheeler looks like he might be around that age, mm-hmm. maybe slightly younger, but it could be him. He kept tabs on Emma for quite a while before, his character came into the picture.
No,
I just wonder if
he could be well aware of what that mother did and the reason why the mother did it. You know what I mean? You could be because when they show that red case, put on the subtitles if you can. And you watch when he's having those dreams, when Apollo's having the dreams of his father, it says in it, save me, in the subtitles while he's having the dream.
Yeah.
So if it's saying
it's like save me or help me.
Yeah. So where is he saving him from? Because he's trapped in that water underneath there. Just stuck in there by his mom, stuck his ass in that place and threw his ass in the water. And she probably did it because she was trying to swap his son out, and she caught his ass in the act. And was like, oh, no, motherfucker, you ain't taking my son from me. And that was it. And
she literally runs in saying, I'm coming for you. And I don't think she means, Apollo. I'm pretty sure it's like, I'm coming for you, motherfucker, talking about the dad.
Yeah, and that's it.
And we haven't seen him since, so he's probably buried, underwater. I totally am on board with that.
You could see the bruises on her face. It was a fight.
Oh yeah. She had like a busted lip and everything.
No, I mean,
she took a couple, but she gave a few. She put his ass down. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah, she put it. Maybe
there's
go on.
There's just another separate thing that I wanted to talk to you about because I do not trust Patrice like at all, dude. He's really shady because he's not around for some pivotal moments, but we don't know how he even met Apollo. Like we haven't seen that scene where they met each other. He said that it was at like a book selling thing, right? Which is coincidental as fuck, really, because Patrice set him up with William. He supposedly told William to go to that little share group thing that he filmed, which is weird,
Mm-hmm.
because you're not supposed to film anything like that. And, you know, Patrice acts like he doesn't, you know, want to be around William, but he's got, you know, you like you pointed out, man, that room is like all blue, dude. His room that he's sitting in there with his computer, and he's the librarian of Alexandria, dude. He's keeping tabs on everybody. I wouldn't be surprised if he's quite higher up and more of a ringleader than people might be suspecting, because he's keeping tabs on something. I don't know who keeps records like that in their house of a bunch of stuff. Like, even though he says he's a soldier, I mean, that's a pretty good cop out to not go into details about your past. Just say, oh, I work for the, you know, I was in the army, you know, I was in special forces, some shit like that. You know, I can't go into details. It's private. He's kind of, you know, set Apollo up for some weird scenarios. And I don't think that he's really a good guy in the end. I'd be not surprised at all if, you know, he turns out to just be like, oh, got you, Apollo, or some shit like that, you know. But that's just my assessment.
No, I agree. Something's going on with him. It's more than just I'm a friend, I'm a buddy. Again, William Wheeler said he got in contact with him. How did he know? Why would he? You know, if your friend was at your friend was at an AA meeting or something like that, you wouldn't say, "Hey, go to the AA meeting and meet him over there. He's gonna be there."
No,
right?
No, dude, that's like the weirdest place to send somebody to go meet, you know, for like a book selling or something like that. Besides, he didn't even want the book anyway. He ended up defacing it and draining, you know, his wife's bank account anyway. Which once again, that's a huge setup. You know, it's like all that stuff is just a huge setup.
Because he knew that Apollo could find that fucking island. He knew it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm getting at. Like he wanted to use Apollo for this whole shit. I think, I don't know, you pointed out Cal being suspect as well, and she was wearing like blue like a motherfucker in this last episode too. It was really weird.
Out of nowhere all of a sudden.
And it just, the whole episode, without even saying it, is showing how she just lied to Apollo the previous episode about everything and trying to come clean to him and make him feel at ease and all that stuff. Like, once again, Apollo's just like the most gullible dude in New York, who just like, oh, I trust whatever anybody says to me. Like, he doesn't want to question, you know, like anything, even though it's like his gut feeling is like, you know, what's going on here? Emma fought back like, you know, she didn't care. She didn't want to hear any of it. And, you know, Apollo just kind of takes people at their word, which, you know, he's a nice guy, you know, nothing against that. But, I mean, like, he just cannot seem to, you know, tell when somebody's lying to his face. Like, even the sister lied to him. You know, Emma's sister lied to him.
And she took the money, too.
I don't know. Oh, I know. That was dirty, man. Who does that? Like, you lie to the guy, take 10 grand.
If she didn't take the money, it would make it look sus. You know what I mean? Like, she took that fucking money. She's like, I take the fancy guy.
I don't know. I'd give that money back. I'd be like, I didn't deliver the baby. I didn't do my job. Why would I get paid for that? Not to mention your baby's kind of dead, dude. Like, but she's just like, nope. $10,000, I'll take it, you know, and then I'll throw your wife overboard too. You know, it's like not telling them anything. It's just like, I don't know. Everybody lies to Apollo, and he can't tell.
And Apollo brought up there what was the third wish, and she gave a funny look, like she knew what the third wish was.
Yeah, I still don't know what that third wish is. I saw somebody's comment. I wish I remember their name, but they said something like, oh, maybe Emma wished for a fairy tale life, which is like, oh boy, that would be funny as fuck if it was like, oh, I just want a fairy tale life. And it's like a really like, it's like a Brothers Grimm fairy tale where everything's like horrible and people are getting ripped apart and stuff. But I don't know, maybe that's what it was. You know, maybe it was some vague thing like that she wished for that's really easily twisted, you know, happily ever after or something, you know.
Could be. We shall see in the end of what's going on there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know, man. I guess I don't really have any more, you know, theories at the moment, man. I think everyone's, you know, kind of like just jumped off, you know, the the diving board into this huge ocean of theories with this show, man, is pretty cool. From was a nice ride with all that stuff too, but it's put on pause for a little bit.
Yeah,
so
we'll be back
this
with
is
From.
nice.
We'll be doing more From stuff when From gets a little bit more, we'll be doing more From stuff before the season comes out and everything. That's right now we talking this. Again, Sunday we'll be talking House of the Dragon and stuff, so we keep it going.
Yeah. Oh, actually, there is one more thing. It's more to do with Emma's parents, because we actually haven't really learned anything about them. Maybe I'm the only one that finds it a little strange, but how her mom is like sitting in the house on fire, literally like that dog meme where it's like, this is fine. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no,
a little
like
strange. The mom just sitting there in the fire.
And she accepted them being burnt. She wanted to burn the whole family up.
Yeah, but the dad goes back in, and if you watch that scene, the dad gives this weird, like, odd look, and then he just like walks into the fire and disappears. And I don't know. It's, to me, that just seems a little odd. The way that the parents got taken out, and knowing that the sister knows a lot more than she says. Maybe she knows more about that scenario. Once again, we'll find out more details about that, because that whole scene just kind of makes me feel really odd.
Yeah,
I don't know why everyone's so freaking comfortable.
Yeah, there'll definitely be more going down with that. I think we'll see some more more information about what happened there.
Yeah, right on, man. Well, I appreciate your time.
No doubt.
Thank you for taking my call, and I certainly we'll call back in when I got some more time and there's another live stream, because this is the shit, and it's always a good time listening to everybody's theories and talking to you, man.
I appreciate it, bro. You have a good one. Peace out.
You too, buddy. Thank you.
All right, he came up with good theories and everything. I'll be right back again. I go to the bathroom. Be right back. I am back here rocking with you for the final segment, because I'm about to get off this thing 2.5 hours. I try to keep it there. It's 10 o'clock at night. Glad you all could rock with me and everything up. Someone calls, we'll take one more call besides that. But after that, we're going to go and everything. I think we had a great conversation here and everything else and all that stuff. What was that? What was that? Why did that make that noise? What is that noise? I don't know what that means. What up to Craig saying, yo? Can't see the picture. I don't know what that picture is. Can't see it. What's going on and everything? 214 Bean says WWW and Wheels aren't the same person. Wheels is partnered with Cal. I agree that they're not the same person. But I do understand why you would say Wheeler, Wheels, and all that good stuff. Yeah, Wheels is definitely partnered with Cal. JC Boots, CD Beats J says Cal knows Emma is different. Yeah, because she let her go off and do all that stuff, but she would not have let her do that and everything else. No doubt about it. No doubt. I agree with you on that. They know something's going on with Ella. Luna, any predictions on Lillian's storyline next? If it is a Lillian episode, we will find out what's going on inside that red suitcase. Find that out next episode. And then I could be right, and I can make a video about it, and everyone can just come on in. So you was right. Did William change after seeing the picture of Emma? No, he was in the glamour the whole time. He said that it wasn't until the people contacted him and told him who he really was when he actually changed and was able to remove the glamour and everything. So it wasn't that. And I think it was the glamour was in the necklace. The necklace is what gave him the ability to glamour when that necklace got knocked off. That usually when you have a glamour, it's an item around the person that has a spell on it that allows the glamour to take place. And I do believe it was a necklace that he had that allowed him to have that glamour on him. And it was knocked off. That was what allowed him to do anything. Be seen in his real form. All right. Hannah says, it says in the episode description, Lillian reckons with a dark night from her past and records a message for her son Apollo. Well, she may kill herself, that means. May kill herself. Why does it say for her son Apollo specifically? Why wouldn't it just say Apollo? We know it's her son. Something's weird there. All right, let me jump aboard here then. No one wanted to call in. Give you a chance to call in. No one wanted to call in. Let me get up out of here. Let me say thank you for everyone for joining me on this live stream. We'll be back again for another live. Look, tomorrow, Alan, what up? Thank you for joining. I'm about to go. I'm sorry. Let's say thank you for everyone for rocking with us. We'll be back again. Maybe we'll do it on Saturday. Saturday we did before. Right after the episode's done on Friday, we come Saturday with the live stream. And we'll start talking more about it, and then we'll do another live stream again like we did this week. But it'll probably be on Monday again. I was pushed back again for everything else, but that was I hate missing it. I was trying to get. You should have came on. We've been on here for 2.5 hours, girl. Where you been? Yeah, for a long time. We'll be back again. I promise you. No doubt about it. If you like the way I do this, please thumbs up to spread this across the realm, and as always, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace. And stay sexy.